Ahoy! Welcome to another edition of the Zlin Film Festival Bubble. Like the West Ham fans sing after every game, we'll be forever blowing bubbles. Zlin Film Festival bubbles floating in the air. And one bubble that was floating into the studio today was a film director named Veronica Solomon. And she's here in Zlin with a film called Til. And it's a particularly difficult film to explain what it's all about. But maybe you're the only one who can do it correctly.
Well, I was hoping that everybody who had or has a small child would understand it immediately, because it's been inspired by the times with my son when he was little, and yeah, it's full of challenges and also but nonsense and all these magic moments and this is basically what the film is about.
It's about nonsense.
It's about the times, like the early childhood times and the parent-child dynamics.
Are you planning to speak in nonsense for the next 10 minutes?
Maybe. I'm gonna.
Well, you're totally welcome to do that. Is there one Til or are there many Tils on the planet?
On the planet, okay. There might be. The thing, like the Til, like this name, the name of the film, comes from the way my son was pronouncing Krokodýl. Like in German you say Krokodýl, not crocodile, and he was pronouncing it Til, which is not like the normal way a small child would mispronounce. So it was very particular. And then he was very fond of crocodile, so everything was a crocodile, like like a green hanging clamp, like for clothes, or a green car, everything. At some point I was a Til, so this is how it came, like, and also this, like, I had to take on new roles as a first time mother and also like his father, and I think anybody who's taking care of a small child for the first time find themselves in this kind of like absurd situations, and I think the way to go is just to enjoy it and play along and just become whatever your child tells you that you are. So,
well, Til is not 100% the same as Krokodýl, and it's also the character in the movie that we see, that we follow all the time.
Yeah, and it changes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also not 100% a crocodile. Even if he resembles it a lot, sometimes it's also a dragon, sometimes it's something else. What is it? You don't want to tell me, but at least give me some.
Yeah, it has
clues.
to. It has to change all the time. It has to adapt to all the new situations.
Can you buy a Til online, for instance?
No, you can only become one.
You can become one. You cannot go to the shop and buy it.
You have to become something else, whatever your child tells you. I have a friend who is now like early mother, and her daughter says cucadela to crocodile. It's also very particular, so I guess my friend has to become a cucadela.
So if the two of you go out together, then one is a Til and one is a cucadela.
Yep.
You're very exotic people. Those animators. So it's a lot of nonsense poetry in English. Was that the original language of the film?
For some parts, yes. I wrote the poem in English and German parallel. But none of them is my native tongue, so I had help from native speakers.
Because your native tongue is?
Romanian.
But you made a film in Germany?
Yes, because I was living in Germany at the time, and I've been living there 15 years, so it's German film, mostly.
The story is set in such a nonsense, fantastic universe that there's actually no limitations. You can do whatever you want, you can go wherever you want to go. Every second you have to make choices if you want to make a film like that. So you can float away in a soap bubble, or you can end up in a land of pointless socks, or you can crawl upside someone's nose. Everything is possible. Is that the easy part, or is it the difficult part? Because for every situation you have a million options.
For the way my mind works, this was the easy part of storytelling, because like for me everything makes sense because it was related to some actual event or like some actual happening. Like, for example, this thing with the nose.
Yeah, that was the
going
one
up
that
the nose.
interested me the most.
Like, you know, you have your small child, and they come up with these kind of questions like, what does the neighbor have in their nose? And you're like, okay, whoa.
And your answer is a crocodile.
Like, you can start explaining like anatomically and why people are picking their nose, or you can just make up a story. And also, like, at some point he said that the crocodile is in his belly button, and this also is in the film.
Exactly.
Or like things like crossing the street or not touching the knife, or like all these things actually happened, but I chose to put them in this nonsensical way in the film because otherwise it's kind of boring.
It's a rather unique approach that you, or at least it's a very personal approach. But were you inspired by some other examples? I know a lot of nonsense poetry, but is there also a lot of nonsense animation?
There is some. I cannot, like, of course I was inspired. I think I'm inspired by everything I've seen or I read. There's also like children's books that we read together, and probably there's some inspiration there. And
there was one scene that I was really thinking about, the Ghibli film, when there's a kid floating in balloons in all shapes and sizes. Was Ghibli among the inspirations?
I've seen everything Ghibli, so there's probably a lot, yeah. Well, actually, now that I think, I did show one film to my sound designer that was very much the inspiration, but it's a very obscure film. I don't know if anybody saw it. It's called Vanva the Doggy. It's also Japanese, but it's not Ghibli and it's not classical anime, and it was on a very special DVD released. It's really like nobody knew it except me and some hardcore anime fans probably. It's a children's film, and it happens in a dream of a small child. And these transitions, like where you don't know where something starts and something ends and if it's real or not, this was the inspiration. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the director.
No, but
I would love to, because it's a...
at the end of the film, we saw a little thing that says, "For Ivari."
It's the name of my son.
I'm not surprised. Did you see did he see the film?
Yes.
Did he like the film?
Yes, he likes it. And I think he knows the poem by heart by now. Yes.
I would like to ask a little detail, like animation. Is it drawing? Is it?
Yes.
Is it? Can you explain the basics of how you did it?
Well, the basic is that I had to do it all by myself, because I start the film, and in 3 days the pandemic hit and we were in lockdown. So having collaborators, like I worked with big breaks at home alone, like all the visual part.
Yeah.
So it's digital traditional, basically. It's TV paint and it's frame by frame drawn. Minimal compositing, because I'm not so good at it.
It was already screened in the Zlin Film Festival?
I have no idea. I know that there's a screening tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's been
But you will be
screened.
there?
Yes.
But your first impression of the city of Zlin, can you share it?
Oh, I mean, I haven't seen much of the city, but I've seen that, like, basically the festival has taken over and there's children everywhere and everybody's enjoying themselves. I think that's amazing.
And everybody's talking nonsense in Czech language. But what you should know about Zlin is that the whole city is built on one thing. The empire of Zlin is built on shoes.
I've heard yesterday on the
and
reception.
And that's why I have a question for everyone who comes to the studio. Could you please show your shoes to the camera? Like, you can put at least one shoe on the table. Yes, exactly like this. And tell us a story about your shoes. Why are they here with you?
Oh, my story. Why are they here? Because I looked on the weather report and I saw that it's going to be raining and I don't have rubber boots, so I put a thick layer of grease on these shoes, which are leather, and I hope it holds for let's see how much rain comes.
Okay. And you're happy with your choice to bring these ones along?
Well, they're not my walking shoes, so I don't know how much of the city I will be able to see, but it's okay. It's better than wet wet feet.
Okay, so we can tell to the people of Zlin that if you see somebody walking through the city a little bit clumsily with a big layer of grease on her shoes, that's probably Veronica Solomon, who came here with a wonderful film called Tutu Til, a film that I hope many people will go to see in the festival. Veronica, thank you so much to walk all the way to the studio on your greasy shoes. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for watching the Zlin Film Festival Bubble, and hope to see you again.
Thank you
Ahoy.
for having me here.